Hey everyone, please do not fuss at me. Please don't do it. I know I suck about these videos, uploading them and everything, but I do not fall behind or lag on answering your questions in the comments. But anyway, I just want to give you all a brief update on what I'm doing with my independent nurse contracting gig, especially during COVID or the pandemic. I don't know if I uploaded a video about what I was doing pre-COVID, which was 2019 when I began the independent nurse contractor journey. So this is a brief detail. I started out doing moderate sedation pre and post for endovascular private practice, and everything was going well. I was there for over a year up until the stay in shelter took into effect, and we weren't doing any elective cases that affected a lot of people who provide those types of services, elective cases. A lot of us were out of a job. During that time, I opened up a business, and I made it an LLC, and I'll probably do a video about that because I do get questions about the LLC formation. So I'll do that. I'll do a video about that. Just keep nagging me. I'll do it. So I did that, and up until I found another assignment. I still have the business though, until I found another assignment. And this assignment, I got it through a nursing agency. Well, with this agency, I was still able to keep my 1099 status. I actually had that written in too. I had some things written and taken out of the contract. This is very important as a 1099, and also as any medical provider that is traveling, that's signing contracts. Pay very close attention to your contracts, because the corporation, the facility, they're going to always look out for themselves, regardless of what the situation is. Regardless of what the situation is, whether they're at fault or you are at fault, they're going to always look out for themselves. So therefore, as a 1099, you have got to look out for your best interest as well. So that means read that contract, read it, whatever doesn't feel right to you. If they have them take it out, if they can't take it out, either you gonna go ahead with it or you just leave it on the table. And that's the only two options that you have. So that's one of the most important things to me, is reading that contract and making sure that it is aligned with my needs and what I want, and my desires, point blank. So with that being said, after everything was done with the contract, and it really wasn't much of a contract, because as a 1099, you really don't get a contract. You get more of a job description. So anyway, this was one of the coolest assignments I'd ever done, just besides being an interventional radiology nurse. I was doing COVID testing observation for one of these major companies in a fulfillment center, and the people there were amazing. It was fine. I'm not the biggest extrovert type person. I may seem like it, but I am very introvert. That was the assignment that sort of set the bar for every other assignment that comes afterwards. Has got to exceed that assignment. So June 3rd came around, and that was my last day because everyone was getting vaccinated, and woo de woo. But anyway, I was kind of sad about it because I really liked that assignment. So I'm back on my hustle, on my grind with my LLC, and I finally picked up another assignment through Medely. I don't know if you all have heard of Medely. There's a couple of other apps out there where nurses, CNAs, or whatever can pick up per diem shifts. Like, you could just do a shift for a day. You can do local travel assignments, whatever. You're still, because I got these earbuds in my ears, so if it sounds like you can hear me breathing, that's why. That's why. But anyway, yeah. So Medley has it set up where you can do a per diem, you could do local, you could do travel, you can look up how if you want a lengthy shift, if you want a short shift, a highest pay, all these options. Also, there's all these different options of specialties, and because I was doing interventional radiology, it's you know, yeah. But anyway, so I found another assignment that paid. Oh my goodness, it was like almost 5,000 a week, and it was local. And I'm just gonna tell y'all this. I know we'll get on here. Some of us will get on here and we will be capping. It's 10,000. I'm getting 10,000 a week. And it's possible. It's possible. But they don't tell you what all you getting. That you are going to be working your soul to death for that 10 grand. And that's fine if you want to do that. That's fine if you want to do that. I have no problems with that. But I am in the stage of my manifesting soul journey, spiritual awakening life where I'm not trying to work that hard. I just want money to come to me effortlessly and easily. Like sleep. You feel me? But anyway, all jokes aside. So I took this interventional radiology assignment that paid a pretty good amount. And y'all, it it was tragic. It was tragic. I hadn't been in a hospital setting for over 2 years, and I didn't even know it. I wish somebody would have told me that if you are not in a hospital setting, just don't even, if you hadn't been in since COVID or before the pandemic, just don't even waste your time going back in there because you're going to be the only damn nurse. There was only one nurse doing cath lab and IR for the entire facility, y'all. For the entire facility. And it was it was very tragic. And the worst part about it was that the one nurse didn't have the one nurse they cat out there, my cat acting up. The one nurse they had didn't get a lot of training, because of how they weren't real open to learning. I mean, that's how, anyway. And the whole setup was just wrong. And the thing about it that the agency nurses that were coming in were all saying the same thing. From what I understood, was all saying the same thing, but they were being ignored. And one thing I do know is that when it comes to IR procedures, every facility may not do all the same procedures, but our role as IR nurses are typically the same regardless of where we go. That's why when we do assignments, we could go to one facility to another without much of a transition problem other than maybe having to learn a new computer system. Is because it's the same. The descriptions are still the same. Like we're going in, we're doing the monitoring, we're doing the sedation, and we doing the procedures. So there's not much difference, but it was like dark. It was hell. This facility was like, I just didn't understand what was going on. Like, what was my damn role? Or what? Why is the tech charting nurse medication administration? Why is it was just a mess. And so eventually we were not going to be able to work together because I don't do STEMIs, code STEMIs. Not on that level of cath lab. I typically do like the sedation for TEEs, the cardio. So yeah, that's about as close as I can do for you. But in the beginning, I kind of felt like, yeah, okay, I have no problem with doing those whatever, until I physically got into the facility and saw their process, and I was not comfortable with learning from anyone there because everyone was doing shit they were not supposed to be doing. Period. So I no longer felt comfortable to learn how to do a co-STEMI, and my contract ended. One part of it was, I think they were upset because they wrote a check they couldn't cash by running off because they wasn't taking any call or doing any call before I got there. And I believe that they jumped the gun and, oh yeah, we're going to start calling because now we have a nurse. No, boo boo. No, I don't feel comfortable learning anything from anybody here. I don't feel comfortable eating here no more. And that was the end of that. So yeah, that was weird. And then not only that, but even like on my first day there, there was a nurse. She I forgot what was her name. Anyway, she was like rude, like she felt like she could ask me questions, but I couldn't ask her questions. So, she had like a little attitude and, a little smart ass mouth and stuff. And I was just like, damn, y'all. And even the nurse that was working in the department was not very open to a lot of stuff. Like, that person was doing stuff the hard way. I mean, it was just like a whole catastrophe. And you could tell that they just really didn't give a shit about that one nurse, or even having two nurses doing the entire facility, two nurses on call. It just was like, you could tell that there was a level of, we really don't give a shit. It's just really about the money. And I don't give a damn if the patient's down. That's pretty much how that went. But I wasn't really upset about the whole scenario, and even with the attitude, the nurses having an attitude towards me, because I was just like, well, I'm still walking away with feeling good. I'm still leaving with my license too, because ain't no way I'm gonna put myself in a situation where I know that you're gonna blame me when the shit pop off. So that was, so that was the end of that. Now I'm doing radiology clinic, and it's a little different because I'm doing a lot of administrative stuff and I'm not used to doing administrative stuff. But it's, again, I'm the only nurse in this department, and I have a little space to myself. The first day there. So yeah, I had the video stop. The first day, the first hour I was there, it was sort of traumatic. And I was like, damn, do I need to go home? Because I don't want to sit in this energy. I don't want to sit in her chair after the news she just got. Like, And then I think every time I show up, somebody dying. I was like, yeah. But, so I just come home and I, hit my little singing bowl, and we just gonna clear all that energy today. But it's fine. I'm just replacing a nurse that's on medical leave, I believe. And just like anything else, there's always going to be a group of nurses that's going to come up like, why are you doing so much? Because this is not what I'll be doing, stuff like that. And are you doing more than what or are you doing more than what the job description say you're going to do? Or is this expectation that you're going to do everything that the staff nurse is going to do? And but other than that, it's going fine. I'm always team. I like to be left alone to do my work and not be messed with. I'm always team that person. But one of the things that I do not miss about going back into the hospital is a couple of things I do not miss about the hospital setting. It's the attitudes. It's the demands for me. It's the low vibrations for me. It's just the overall energy of the facility for me. And I don't miss that. I really don't. That's been my journey so far. And amidst all of that, the year kicked off with me having to stay about 5 to 7 days in a hotel because of the freeze we had here in Texas. with no water, no electricity. I sprained my ankle, so I had to take off 2 days. I spent those 2 days on the beach in Galveston. I also took a trip to New Orleans for the first time. I'm from Louisiana and I've never been to New Orleans, so I finally got to go for the first time. So those things are the things that I admire about being a 1099 contractor, is being able to just do things that I didn't really have an opportunity to do as a staff nurse. Part of it because of time, and another part because of money. I also got to enjoy a wonderful being an independent nurse contractor has allowed me to see things way more differently versus when I was a staff nurse or as an employee. Also, being a business owner of a LLC has me seeing things from a different aspect. I no longer view things as an employee, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've also been able to enjoy facets of my life that I didn't assume that I would be able to enjoy, because I spent a lot of time as a staff nurse and working and not benefiting from the fruits of my labor. There are times when there might be a rough patch in finding an assignment, but I try to stay in the mindset that this is a time for me to rest and to be open to receive when something that is for me. I will know it's. I understand that everything that glitters isn't gold, and a lot of these high paying contracts are trash, and that's why they're paying a lot for you to come work for them. Sometimes you may just be the only nurse, but it is either, it's up to you how you want to work that. I also enjoy the freedom, the liberation to be able to make a choice about my own career without someone over me making those choices for me. About my life, about how much an hour of my life is worth. Um, I take back that control. Um, it's just so many things I'm thankful for and grateful for. I'm learning so much as a business owner for the LLC. That's all I have for you right now. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. You like this video. If you have any further questions or comments, please place them in the comments and I will answer your questions for you. I will be doing more videos. Like I said again, nag me, y'all, because I just don't be feeling like putting on this concealer and stuff. I really don't. So I have concealer on, but you see it's filter time right now, right? But anyway, thank you all for listening to my independent nurse contractor journey so far. Till next time.